These are the three biggest mistakes I see from new cleaning businesses. So cleaning businesses that fail don't fail because they can't clean well, it's because they don't have the correct systems at the beginning to set themselves up for success. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. I see the same three mistakes being made by new businesses time and time again. And if we can address these mistakes and rectify them, it will completely transform the growth of your business. So let's dive into it. So first of all, your pricing. This is perhaps the most important foundation of your business. And if you don't get your pricing right at the beginning, it makes growing your business profitably extremely challenging. So what I tell new business owners at the beginning is to always price your services at 50% gross profit margin. So what that means is that if we are charging our client $100 for a cleaning, if we had a cleaning staff member doing the cleaning for us, we would be paying that cleaner a maximum of $50 for that cleaning. So you need to jump on the local recruitment websites, have a look at Indeed, have a look at the pay rates for cleaners in your area. And the way to think about it is that whenever you price a new job, if you estimate the amount of time that it would take to clean that property, take those number of hours, multiply it by the going rate for cleaners in your area. Let's say a 3-hour job, and the pay rates in your area are $20 an hour. So you would need to pay a cleaner 3 times 20, $60 for that cleaning. It means that you would need to charge your client double that $60, so $120. So what that means is that if you charge $120, pay your cleaner $60, it leaves you $60 remaining from that cleaning. And this is a good profit margin because you need to take some of that profit, reinvest to grow your business, reinvest in marketing channels, bring on a virtual assistant to help run your operations, run more recruitment ads to get more cleaners in. And after all those costs, you need to have some money left over to pay yourselves as the business owner. So don't get stuck into the mistake that many people make at the beginning, and that is pricing too low. Pricing too low so that gross profit margin isn't 50%, maybe it's 20% or 30%, because if you use that same pricing structure as you grow your business, there's just not going to be enough profit left over to reinvest and grow and pay yourself as well. So use that 50% level, whether you're doing 5K a month, 50K a month or 100K a month, and it means that you'll have enough money left over to continue to reinvest and grow. So mistake number 2 is being too generic. So as you will be well aware, in your area, there will be lots of cleaning companies out there. You'll get the bigger franchises, you'll get some independent cleaning companies that have been around for a while, right the way down to independent cleaners who work on their own and maybe with 1 or 2 or 3 people. And if you put yourself in the shoes of a potential client looking for a cleaning company to clean their home, and you jump on Google and look at lots of different cleaning companies, often it is very difficult to distinguish between one cleaning company on one end of town and another cleaning company on the other side of town in terms of the services that they provide. How are they different? Is one better than the other? And if you are getting into this position where your own cleaning business, it's not very differentiated, it's going to be very challenging for you to set up a high enough price for your services to reinvest in growth, as I talked about in my last point. And the reason for that is that if your services are seen to be by clients to be exactly the same as all the other cleaning companies in your area, you have no control over your pricing. The pricing is set by the market. If you set your prices above that, clients will simply go to another cleaning company that have lower prices because they see the services as exactly the same. So the solution behind this is that we need to make sure that our cleaning services are sufficiently differentiated from other cleaning companies in our area. And we can do this in a number of ways. A very generic cleaning company might offer house cleaning, move in, move out cleaning, post-construction cleaning, commercial cleaning, window cleaning. So straight away, the the first step would be to say, okay, this is too broad. We need to focus on a specific service niche. So it could be, first step could be to say, okay, we just do house cleaning rather than commercial cleaning. Even better still, we just do move out cleaning, or we just do recurring cleanings for homeowners. You can differentiate in terms of the service type that you provide. So maybe you have a strong eco focus. With your cleaning company, you use electric vehicles, you use eco cleaning products, or maybe you specialize by the types of clients that you work with. Maybe it's very wealthy families and working couples. So there are different ways that you can differentiate your service, but importantly, this needs to be reflected on your website and all your branding. It can't be just simply we're a high quality cleaning business serving the Chicago area. It would need to be Chicago's leading eco-friendly cleaning business, or Chicago's leading move-in, move-out cleaning company. You can see there just with the messaging that the service is differentiated to other cleaning companies out there. And the reason why specialization is really important is because if you have few or no competitors who specialize in what you do, you have far more control over the price that you can charge for your cleaning services. So let's say you are an eco-friendly focused company. If you get in front of clients that really value that eco focus, they will probably be willing to pay a higher price for that. People generally prefer to use specialists and are willing to pay a higher price for that specialization. So specialization helps in lots of different ways, including your marketing. It makes your ad copy far more targeted. It means that your website is more targeted. You're likely to have a higher conversion rate. So with your marketing in place, once you have this specialization nailed down, then you want to think about testing lots of different marketing channels. And what might be helpful for you guys is I've put together a free PDF. It goes through what I think are the top 20 marketing channels for cleaning companies today. So take a look at that for those that are interested. But bringing it all together, specialization will help with your marketing. It'll make it more effective and you'll get a higher return on investment. So mistake number 3 is being stuck in the field. So most of us who start out in the cleaning business will do some or all of the cleaning at the beginning. Some people will naturally fall into having a cleaning business. Suddenly they get a full schedule and they realize they need to hire someone. Other people at the outset will think, okay, I'm not going to do much cleaning. I want to be managerial. I want to be running my business. And getting stuck out in the field doing all the cleaning is a big mistake I see, and a big limiter for people's growth who go down this route. Because if you are spending all your time out in the field cleaning, it leaves very little time outside of your cleaning to think about how you work on your business rather than in your business. And this is something that Michael Gerber in his book The E-Myth Revisited talks about in a lot of detail. And I found this in my cleaning business when I was getting started. As soon as I freed up more time to think about how do I actually grow this thing, what marketing channels do I use, do I need to reset my pricing, do I need to reinvest in my website? With that extra time thinking about how do I grow my business, funnily enough, my business growth really accelerated. So if you are in the field and you have a full calendar of cleaners, then you know that if you want to grow a business that goes beyond you, you need to hire some people to help with the cleaning itself. That will free up time for you to think about how you grow your business further. And this is a very common challenge that people have. And the way that I recommend people, and the way I did it, would be, you find that first cleaner, whether it's you or your first cleaner that you hire, get them to get to a full schedule, hire your next cleaner and get that new cleaner to work alongside that existing cleaner as a team of 2. So straight away you double the capacity. If one cleaner is doing 2 jobs a day, a team of 2 should be able to do 4 jobs a day. Obviously in the same amount of time. So hire that second person to work alongside that first person. If that first person is performing at a good standard, they should be able to help that second cleaner get to the same standard as them. And then you know, if it's you as the business owner who's that first cleaner, you can gradually hand over some of your recurring clients to that second cleaner. And in exactly the same way, get that second cleaner filled up, bring in a third cleaner to work alongside that second cleaner, and rinse and repeat. And this is the way that you scale your cleaning staff whilst maintaining, you know, the quality. So the third biggest mistake I see is that, you know, the business owner gets stuck in the field. They don't have enough time to think about how do they grow their business. So once you are recruiting people and you're getting capacity, then it switches back to the other way, which is about marketing. You know, I need to fill those cleaning schedules as quickly as possible to get revenue coming in through the door. And in this next video, I'm going to talk about what I think are the best ways to get cleaning clients in 2026. It'll go into a bit more detail about what I think are the best channels, the best ways to get the high paying clients. So I'll see you on the next video.